Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie. I'm a dietetic intern with the Sensible Nutrition program. Today, I thought I would show you my kitchen and some of the things that I have in my pantry that I use every day for breakfast. This is a really exciting day for me. Because I get to show you my microwave mug muffin recipe that I've been using for years. I can't remember where I first saw it, but it was on Instagram, and I have adapted it to my tastes since then. So the first thing you have to do before you do anything else is wash your hands in the morning, especially right now. So I'm gonna go do that. So the things that you would need for this mug muffin recipe, which I have a really nice large mug muffin cup just ready right here. You'll also need a banana. This one has seen better days. It was in my husband's lunchbox and he didn't eat it last night, so it gets to be in my breakfast. You'll also need oats. I always keep old-fashioned oats on hand. They're good for a lot of things, not just breakfasts. You'll need a jar of peanut butter. You'll need 1 egg. I'm using some almonds today because I have them in my kitchen, and I think they'll go really good with the blueberries that I also usually put in mine. I like frozen blueberries to keep on hand. I use my freezer as extra storage space. Because even when they are in season, fresh blueberries can get pretty pricey. So just buying a giant bag of these and then keeping them in your freezer for when you need them is a great option. A couple of the spices you'll need today, I use a little bit of ginger and then cinnamon. I bake with a lot of cinnamon, so that's why it's in this giant container. So the first thing you're gonna do is mash up your banana. I say it looks sad on the outside, but it's not too bad on the inside. I don't see any really dark spots. If I had, I would have cut those off. You're just gonna get in there and smash the banana like you're going to make banana bread, because that's essentially what this is banana bread in a microwave. Next thing you're gonna do is just take about a spoonful of peanut butter and go ahead and drop it in there. And then we'll go ahead and mix that together real quick. The peanut butter gives it a little fat, and it keeps the muffin itself from sticking to the outside of the mug. So when it's done cooking, you can actually pop it out and eat it like that, or you can eat it inside the mug. It really doesn't matter. So the next thing we're gonna do is just sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of ginger. I don't really measure this part. If if I were to measure, I'd say maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of each or less. It's really just like a pinch and you throw it in there. Mix that up. If I want to turn this into more of a dessert, I'll add a little tiny splash of some vanilla and a tablespoon of chocolate chips, and then it's a good dessert muffin. However, the next step is that we will crack our egg right there. Normally I would use another bowl for this, but I'm the one that does the dishes and I really don't want to do them this morning. So go ahead and mix that up. This is going to be your base that you'd be able to add pretty much whatever you want to. I've added flour in it before and made it more of like a cake consistency, but this morning we're just going to stick to oats. This is what it'll look like. It's a little runny. Doesn't necessarily look appealing, but it smells pretty good. Wishing everybody had smell-o-vision. So you're going to take a 1/4 measuring cup and put about a 1/4 of a cup of oats. If you mix it up and it still seems like there's quite a bit of batter, like I can tell there's still quite a bit of batter that's not covered, I'll probably add another 1/8 of a cup. Bananas come in all sizes and that kind of affects this recipe. So sometimes you need a little bit more, sometimes you need a little bit less. That's the joys of cooking on the fly. So now that I see that the batter kind of has, every single bit of batter has a little bit of oats in it at least, I'm going to add my blueberries. But I generally add about a 1/4 of a cup. And then the last thing that I'm going to do that I don't normally do, but since I have these, I might as well use them, is just pour about a tablespoon's worth in there. Ends up looking a little bit like that. Mix all of that up, and then this will go to the sink since it has raw egg on it. Say our next step is to microwave. So we'll go ahead and put it on. At this altitude, it generally takes about 4.5 minutes. So we'll set it for 4.5 minutes, and then I will see you then. I generally use this time to get my coffee, or if I'm running a little late, I will get dressed and brush my teeth, and then I can flip this out into a container and pack it with me, and even just eat it on the go as I'm headed to work. All right, welcome back. The microwave just went off, so I'm going to check it. Sometimes it's not always done after 4.5 minutes, especially with the blueberries in there. So I take it out and check on it. It's still a little gooey in the center, so we're gonna put it back in for another minute. The center should be cooked through, and there shouldn't be it shouldn't look watery or anything like that. It should actually have a little bit of a fluffy texture. Baked goods, and eggs especially, you know that if you put them in the microwave, they get all these bubbles and they kind of rise and pop up, and we're gonna let that set for a couple of minutes just to let it finish cooking all the way through. All right, so I've taken it out of the microwave. It is hot, so I definitely recommend using one of these guys when you take it out. Using the bottom here. You can see it's pretty well done. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off, but I can. This is what it'll look like while it's in the mug muffin, and then I will get a plate and we'll flip it over and you can see what it looks like there. All right, we're gonna flip it, and it comes right out. Oh yeah, look at that steam. So as you can see, it cooked all the way through. And there's really no eggs or anything. It doesn't look eggy. We'll cut it open. And it is still very hot, so be careful. But that's what it looks like on the inside. I like it just like this. Like I listed before, you can always add some chocolate chips to this to give it a little bit more of a dessert vibe. Also, in the morning, if you're flipping it over like this, you can always add a drizzle of honey or a little bit of maple syrup. Make sure you have it with some sort of fruit. So today I have oranges. So in addition to the blueberries that's already in there, I will be having a couple oranges along with my coffee. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like us to make more videos, please let us know. I am stuck in the house for 2 weeks, so this might be something that I do on a regular basis now. All right, thanks so much.